Here's my review of Daredevil Born Again, episode 7. I think that this episode as a whole, I enjoyed, but the ending just makes me mad. Just simply because, we're learning so much about more about Bastion in this therapy group, who we know is Muse, but of course Heather doesn't know. And I found that to be very interesting. I found that to be like, oh, I want to learn more about this psycho killer artist. But the problem is the ending with this episode. It just makes me think, like, well, what was even the point? Why would you do that? And this episode was frustrating. I liked seeing more of the relationship that Matt and Heather have together, because I just find Matt himself to be such an interesting character. That's why I think that this show, for the most part, works, even though the writing itself isn't really that great. The characters are, and that's why, even if the story isn't super compelling, I'm able to enjoy it just because of these characters. But it just felt so odd to me. Like, we're spending also a lot of time kind of with the police investigating Muse's secret lair. But it's just weird because I'm just going to go into full-blown spoilers here, starting from now. Muse dies in this episode. And it just makes me so angry because I know some people are just really mad. They don't like at all how Muse was handled. And I get that for sure. But I was finding him creepy, but it's like, he's just not in it enough. And they should have kept him going and made him creepier. And it just is frustrating. Because I enjoyed the fight because this whole episode is basically just this therapy session with a little bit of, like, investigation from, like, on the cop's point of view. And I enjoyed this fight, but it's just like, so we're not going to get this again? Why not? I want to see more interactions, especially considering how psychopathic Muse is in the comics. Like, we want to see that. Why would you introduce this character? And like I said, we know, if you keep up with, like, the behind the scenes, we know that, I'm pretty sure this is the last episode that was originally made before Marvel did their whole creative reboot, if you know about all that. So I guess just going forward, everything is going to be what their new plan and new vision is. And like I said, I've been enjoying the show so far, but it's just, this episode just makes me upset because it's like, why would you get rid of the character? Even if, like I said, I know other people weren't really enjoying Muse. I was finding him kind of like, just because from a visual style, I think he just looks so cool. And I'm like, I want to learn more about him. I don't love him, but I kind of like him. And I just want to learn more about this character. But it's like, then we don't get to do that. You just have Heather kill him. And it's like, what's the point? I was enjoying this therapy session between Heather and Bastion. And I just don't understand. Like, I wanted to see more. It's weird. Like, you have this therapy session so late in the show. Like, this whole thing, it just feels odd and out of place. And seeing Muse's artwork with the blood is really cool, but it's just like, so we're not going to see that again? I have heard some people say that Muse is confirmed, like Hunter Doohan, the actor, is confirmed to return for season 2, so apparently he's not really dead. It's just like, but he is dead, so I guess he'll get revived somehow. I don't know. But it just feels weird. Like, this whole thing just feels kind of off. Like I said, a lot of the show just feels off. And like I said, I keep saying like I said every 2 seconds, but we know about all the behind the scenes stuff, the reshoots and stuff. And you could kind of tell it's like, because then you have also the other stuff with Michael Gandolfini's character. And it just feels like they have all the stuff they want to do, but it's just we're not able to do it all. And like the stuff with Muse, why are we not doing more of that? Why would you kill him off so early on? Like, it's just an odd choice. And I'm hoping that the show, like I said, I still think that this is a pretty solid show. I don't think it's amazing or great, but I think it's pretty good. And I hope it gets even better. I want it to, but it just feels like a lot of the decisions they're making are just kind of odd. But yeah, I liked this episode. I found the stuff with Heather and Muse to be interesting, but it's just like, the idea that you're just going to end it there is just kind of really silly and dumb. But yeah, I enjoy this episode, but I think the ending was just very disappointing. And the stuff with like Kingpin, like I love Kingpin, but just his storyline just isn't as compelling as it was in the original show.